Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Aksharadhare. I'm Dhivraj. I hope you are all doing great and are learning great. So today is 18th December, 19th December 2023. Sorry for date mispronouncement. So before going to start the newspaper reading, I would request you guys to please subscribe the channel, like and comment. If you like the video, please share it with your friends. It may be useful for somebody to utilize the opportunities from Aksharadhare and team. So let's start reading the newspaper, The Hindu, which is very important for the point of competitive exams. So let's start reading the newspaper, The Hindu. This is the front page. You can see NIA searches 19 sites across 4 states. 19 sites across 4 states. Indian team set for Arctic expedition. EDA issues second summons to Kejriwal. A blow for the rights of the legislature. CJI's interpretation of Article 200 significant. IPL mini auction to be held in Dubai today. Mosques mandatory for seniors, people with comorbidities. 78 MPs suspended. Opposition calls it murder of democracy. Protesting members were demanding a statement from Home Minister Amit Shah on the security breach in the Lok Sabha. Multiple bills were passed amid the chaos and repeated adjournments in the winter session. 92 MPs have been suspended. Leaders of India parties condemns action on MPs. HC's anguish over collective cowardice. Omnibus Telecom Bill in Lok Sabha legislation to streamline regulation. After HC stay, government winds up who asset is probing BBMP Sikh works during 2019 to 23. For fewer CAG audits of central tabled in parliament. Floods paralyze life in southern Tamil Nadu. Rescue. Relief operations continue. People face delay in getting deals and RCs. Transport Department officials say primary cause is the unavailability of chips essential for the smart cards. Public police book a doctor of KC General Hospital. Government winds up four SITs probing BBMP works. Political status quo and city refuses to budge. Neither were the civic polls held in 2023, nor did the assembly elections bring about any change in the political representation of Bangalore. Anger over proposal to move 24 veterinary institutions out of city. Street vendors want no evictions till completion of survey by BBMP. Kodava community celebrates a unique gun carnival Tokka Namme. Belagavi stripping case at CRP expresses anguish over collective cowardice. CM to meet PM today, seek a drought compensation. State has urged the center to provide financial assistance of 18 lakh 18,171.44 crore, but no relief has come its way so far. CM is also expected to seek increase in number of mandates under MGNREGA. CM Deputy CM to meet top Congress leaders to finalize appointments to boards and corporations. Applications is invited. The Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, in partnership with the Nudge Institute, has invited applications for the Nudge Indian Administrative Fellowship Program, facilitated by the National Institute of Social Defense. This fellowship is aimed at strengthening livelihood access, governance reforms, and citizen service delivery. Malu school incident. Ashok demands a judicial inquiry. CID probe announced by the government do justice to the episode as there is a slew of other alleged irregularities associated with the particular school as well as other Moraji Desai schools in the state. What has the city built for those who have built the city? Although the relocation of slums is often touted as a means of uplift the residents from their impoverished conditions, the reality shows no tangible improvements in their lives. At India's strategy conference, experts deliberate on ways to position India as a global leader. The collaborative initiative was hosted by IIM Bangalore in conjunction with the CIICSO Forum, IIM Ahmedabad, and ISB Hyderabad. Mysore Bangalore broad gauge line, play to center. BML tool down strike hands. Bagil Makeover, get your home Christmas ready. Metro Plus speaks to artists who make ornaments, flowers, candles, figurines, coasters, and more for the season. Going places with the future at a cityscape from behind a lens. Kerala governors winds up a Calicut University visit. Carl CMA bully. Khan says Chief Minister is now not allowing the police to function properly, adding that Pinarayi Vijayan is responsible for political murders in Kannur. The governor also called SFI activist Gundas. He also interacted with traders and people. Mulla Periyar shutters to be opened today, says collector. No uptick in COVID-19 cases, Kerala Health Minister. Family of brides attacks groom's parents. A blow for the rights of the legislature in lawmaking. Let's read this editorial page written by the former Secretary General Lok Sabha. In a landmark judgment delivered on November 10th, 2023 in the state of Punjab versus Principal Secretary to the Governor of Punjab and another, the Chief Justice of India, G. Devachand Chandrachud, gave a creative interpretation to Article 2200 of the Constitution of India, which relates to the options before a governor when a bill, after being passed by the state legislature, is presented to him for his assent. The new interpretation relates to the real meaning of the first proviso to Article 200, which says that the governor may send the bill back to the assembly with a request for reconsideration of the bill as a whole or certain provisions thereof. It further says that if the Assembly, after such a reconsideration, passes the bill with or without the amendments, the governor shall not withhold assent from the bill. There has been a considerable amount of confusion about the meaning of Article 200 and this proviso. Most of the commentators of the Constitution, like D.D. Basu and others, have held the view that the governor's power to withhold assent under this article has a finality about it, and once assent is withheld, the bill dies a natural death. They were also of the view that the option of sending the bill back to the Assembly for reconsideration under the first proviso is discretionary and not mandatory. Thus, there was a presumption that the governor's power to withhold assent from a bill to absolute emphatic in saying no delay. But the CGI, by linking the withholding of assent with the sending of the bill back to the Assembly for reconsideration, has virtually knocked out the option of withholding assent. The judgment says that if the governor decides to withhold assent, he has to send it back to the assembly immediately for reconsideration, in which case he has no other option except to give assent. Needless to say that through his judgment, the CJI, in a forward-sighted approach, has protected the rights of the legislature in the matter of lawmaking and, in fact, the entire constitutional system from the depredations of unelected governors. Nevertheless, the woes of state governments are not over yet. It has been common practice by some governors not to take any decision on the bill sent to them for assent. They have been sitting on bills for 2 or 3 years, virtually negating the legislative exercises of the state. The Supreme Court of India has, in the Punjab case, said emphatically that governors cannot delay the decision on the bills. Thus, the decision of the top court has brought greater clarity to Article 200, and governors will have to quickly take a decision on bills for the president's consideration. But there is still an arena area which can be exploited by the governors to frustrate the law-making exercise of state governments. Reserving a bill for for the consideration of the president is an absolute option still available to a governor. The crucial question is on what kinds of bills a governor can send to the president for his consideration. The second proviso to Article 200 mentions one kind of bills which are mandatory to be reserved for the consideration of the president. These are bills which derogate from the powers of the High Court in such a way as to endanger the constitutionally designed position of the court. So the constitution requires the governor to send all such bills for the consideration of the president. Since consideration by the president means consideration by the union government, the officials of the home ministry will in effect decide the fate of such bills. The Constitution, in fact, does not refer to any category of bills apart from the bills mentioned above, which can be sent to the President for his assent. Therefore, taking a surface view, the governor can use his discretion to send any bill to the President. In fact, that is precisely what the governor of Kerala, Arif Mohammad Khan, did the other day. He did not act on eight bills that were with him for over 82 years. When the Supreme Court took up the Kerala government's petition challenging the governor's inaction, he gave his assent to one bill and sent the seven bills to the president for his consideration. The court, it is learned, it is going to examine this issue, namely, what bills can be reserved for the consideration of the president. The Tamil Nadu governor sent 10 bills for consideration by the assembly after many complaints by the state government. The assembly, after reconsideration, sent the bills to the governor without us accepting any amendments. But in a strange act, the governor sent all those bills to the president for his consideration, which is patently against the constitution. Article 200 first proviso requires him to give us his assent to the bills. So the question of crucial importance in the present political context is whether a governor can reserve bills for the consideration of the president at his discretion. The constitution is silent on this. It makes only an indirect reference and to the reserving of bills for the consideration of the president in two places. Article 213 deals with the ordinance making power of governors. Under this provision, in certain cases, the governor can promulgate an ordinance only with the instruction from the president. Under clause B of the above article, the governor can promulgate an ordinance only with the instructions from the president in a case where he would have deemed it necessary to reserve a bill containing the same provisions as in the ordinance. The words deemed it necessary indicate the making of judgment by the governor in terms of the constitutional scheme of the power of legislative division. In other words, the governor cannot act on him and his whims while deeming it necessary to reserve the bills. Issue of state subject. The second place where the Constitution makes an indirect reference to the President's assent to a state bill is in Article 254. Under Clause 2 of this article, a state law and an item in the concurrent list will prevail in that state even when it contains a provision repugnant to the provisions of an existing central law if it has been reserved for the consideration of the President and has received his assent. This would mean that a bill on a concurrent of subject can be or needs to be sent to the President for assent only if it contains provisions repugnant to an existing central law. But it does not indicate that every bill on a concurrent subject should be sent to the President for assent. In fact, the President has no jurisdiction to scrutinize and give assent to a bill exclusively on a subject in the state list because of the federal scheme of legislative division. Therefore, it would seem that if the governor sends a bill on the state's matter to the president. It would be an abdication of the constitutional duty of a governor. So, from the above analysis, it can be concluded that a governor cannot send to the president for assent bills which are exclusively on the state subject. Also, you cannot send bills on concurrent subjects if they do not contain provisions repugnant to the central law. If the governor thinks that a bill contains unconstitutional provisions, the only option for him is to send it back to the assembly for reconsideration. A governor is not a personally responsible for anything done by the government. Further, constitutional validity of a law is decided by the court, and neither the governor nor the president has any jurisdiction over it. This is about the bill. Oh, wait. Grassroots democracy as a bulwark against mice. The assembly election in Chhattisgarh. The assembly elections in Chhattisgarh are done and dusted. Equations in the context of tribal votes and did matter immensely in the calculations of each political party, given the proportion of the tribal population in the state. As in the politics of Chhattisgarh, it is said that the party with which the tribal voter goes forms the government in the state has tribal voters have a 34% of the vote share in the state. Maoist insurgency in the country presently thrives in the tribal regions of Chhattisgarh, particularly in Bastar. Tribals from the main cadre base of the movement. Elections in these Maoist strongholds that are scheduled 5 years have always been affected by violence in the backdrop of boycott caused by the Maoist, and this year was no different. Democracy in Maoist areas. To begin with, and as reported by the media, voter turnout in Maoist affected areas such as Bijapur and Konta was as low as 3% to 4%. The dismal turnout could be inferred as the writing on the wall, subject to our inclination to acknowledge it. There were several issues that shaped the issues on which political parties contested. However, no single issue addressed the challenge of resolving the Maoist conundrum. Democracy has vague connotations for the tribal population inhabiting the regions with the ongoing Maoist insurgency. If analyzed from the Maoist perspective of boycotts, it may be added that the insurgents who claim to fight the state for the cause of the people pose these very people to shun the most effective tool to unmove towards empowerment. That is, by not participating in the democratic process, this calling out is essential so as to establish the sham that mice are for the people's cause. In the present context, what the mice attempted to achieve by running their parallel government of Jantana Sarkar, as they call it, has no feet to stand on in the mid and long term. This aspect is more or less appreciated by the local tribal population, but perhaps the state has not been able to inspire them enough for various reasons, real or otherwise. This has discouraged mass participation in the democratic process. The said development is more glaring in the context of earlier trends wherein the local population often ignored boycott calls. Thus, the trend pointed to disillusionment on the part of the electorate. As far as selection issues, vice versa, tribals were concerned, the most dominant one was that of religion based conversion. The issue, it is felt, was a manufactured agenda by political players as an alibi to divert attention from the basic issues, with enhanced awareness leading to tribal assertions. Tribals now aspire for the rights they are guaranteed by the Constitution. Such awareness and assertions have clearly manifested themselves in the popular Pathalgadi movement by tribals in Jharkhand, wherein tribals assert their rights. often by expressing a resistance. These people are increasingly and rightfully aware of their entitlement, which they demand under the umbrella of dignity. And PESA. Although a few of the political parties in the field came up with the issues concerning complete implementation of the provisions of the Panchayat's Extension to Scheduled Areas Act, PESA modalities to execute the same were not brought out in a clear manner. In spite of the PESA Act being passed in 1996, not one of the state governments concerned has implemented the same in the correct spirit by issuing policy directives. The Act envisions the empowerment of Gram Sabhas as the sole authority to govern various aspects of the socio-economic lives of the tribal community in their respective jurisdictions. The intent behind the act was to bring people at the grassroots level face to face with the government and was aligned to the tribal way of life and in historical and traditional terms. Various state governments have implemented this act in a half-hearted manner to meet their ulterior motives. This gap has been exploited by the Moyes to posture their agenda and by having their writ run in their strongholds through Jantana Sarkar. The Visa Act, given its potential, could be commandeered as the greatest enabler to mainstream the tribal community by accommodating their aspirations. Its dogged implementation is highly doable, and in the mid and long run, this could render the Maoist, whose influence is receding, irrelevant. Nurturing tribals. The Maoists have created a myth about themselves by pretending to be champions of the tribal cause, and the same needs to be called out in a credible manner by empowering democracy at the grassroots. Tribal leadership needs to be nurtured by acknowledging them and giving them a voice. It is now absent and has resulted in political absenteeism where it matters. The resolution to the challenge posed by the Moais is not only about security and development, but is also about looking behind by enabling democracy at the grassroots, something that recognizes tribal aspirations and calls out the ulterior intentions of Moist. Otherwise, we will continue paying short term attention to the Moist challenge only when they strike at their sweet will. Unseemly turn. Kerala's government conflict should not result in belligerent process. The hollowing out of the anti-defection law, the glimmer of hope for Andhra Congress. The party's success in Karnataka and Telangana has enthused the cat. Number of CAG audits and union government tabled in parliament seats a low. On average, 22 reports were tabled each year in the 2019 to 23 period compared to 40 in the 2014 to 18 period. NIA raids 19 locations in 4 states, arrests 8, Ballari module busted. Agency is accused of actively involving promoting terror activities of ISIS. Operation leads to the seizure of explosive raw materials, weapons, unaccounted for cash and digital devices. 78 opposition MPs suspended. PMLV accused can be given copy of grounds of detention within 24 hours. Mask scheme must for serious people with symptoms. The judgment comes amid a debate that non-communication of the grounds of arrest was a violation of Article 22(1) of the Constitution. ASI files a report on scientific survey of the Gyanwapi Maskun Varanasi. The Council for the Hindu Petitioners requested the district court to make the survey report public. ED summons Kejriwal again to record his statement in Delhi excise policy case. Police filed case against Mighty Lipan chief Pramod Singh. Best of three idols being made to be chosen for consecration at Ram Temple, says official. Floods paralyzed life in southern Tamil Nadu. India bloc parties speak in one voice against suspension of opposition MPs. Floor leaders of parties who are part of the bloc, many of who are suspended, will meet at Congress office today to decide the next course of action. Congress chief says with an opposition-less parliament. The Modi government can now bulldoze important pending legislations without any debate. India bloc will drive Modi out of power, says Lalu Prasad. Sarab takes oath as Rajasthan Assembly pro tem speaker. HC to hear Mahua plea and eviction order. Amid this speculation over his future role, Sivraj to meet a BJP chief in New Delhi. Police registered FIR Nagpur explosives factory blast case. Trinamool opened to alliance with Congress, left Mamata. Mr. Banerjee refused to comment on the demand for a caste census, a key issue for the Congress. OBC representation in AIMS faculty law says House panel. Against the mandated 27% reservation, the Delhi Institute has less than 19% OBC faculty. AIMS Jodhpur has less than 9%. Ministry cites a difficulty in finding candidates for senior faculty positions. Uddhav criticizes the Dharavi project, labels it bad for state. Point tourist visits up, but still below pre-pandemic levels. Six adults, two children killed in road accident in near Pune. India's first winter Arctic expedition begins. A Raman's Research Institute team at to hold a study. Ministry issues advisory to states in view of detection of the new JN1 variant in India. Evenness of mind. Direct taxes will exceed 75% of B. Net direct tax collections grew 20.7% by December 17 to across 13.70 lakh crore. As of November 30, the net direct tax kitty stood at 10.64 lakh crore at 58.34% of the budget estimate. So collections so far in December have swelled by 3.06 lakh crore. Government to Harper's 26 coal mines in new action round on December 20. Capex loans to states added to height half of financial year 24 1.3 lakh crore. E-bus penetration in India likely to double next fiscal. G shares a drop after seeking merger deadline extension. Ambuja Cements to invest 6,000 crore in green power projects. Generative AI can hoard 1.2 to 1.5 trillion dollar to GDP by financial year 30. AI can create more jobs than it potentially eliminates. Tech MM's Gurnani. Chilean voters reject a proposed conservative constitution. Egypt President Sisi re-elected for sixth-year term with a 99.6% of vote. North Korea test fires its most advanced ICBM with US in range. BP suspends a Red Sea shipping transits after attacks by Houthis. Hopes of a Gilopu project and economy revival dominate voters in Bhutan. Israel uses starvation as a weapon in Gaza, says HRW. Strike by Israeli military and Jabalia refugee camp kills 90 Palestinians. Pope says Israel is using terrorism tactics that deplores killing up two Christian women who took refuge in a church complex. Pentagon chief on Israel visit wants Hezbollah. Vatican approves blessings for same-sex couples with caveats. YouTube probe Musk's X under new rules. Karnataka meets AAI in men's final. Mansi and Tulasi Mati clinch gold. Bhagat wins 2 silver. Hardik will bring fresh thinking. Rohit didn't contribute with that. Pant will be capital's high profile presence at action table. Another 500 to go. Cummins issues challenge to land. YS UP Youth has in a thrilling time. Paltan climbs to the top. Bidding war on the cards for big ticket acquisitions. It remains to be seen whether the 20 crore mark would be breached in this mini action. Uncapped Indian players like Shark Shubham and Samir likely to create a franchises shopping list. BCCI notifies IPL franchises of players availability. We were just thinking of restricting South Africa under 400 at Shidip. As scratchy petroleum meets a gutsy Delhi in men's summit clash. A real goes on top after cruising past Villarreal. Asian youth chats Indian girls shine clinch to three goods. Napoli drawn against Barca. Man City gets Copenhagen. Natasha in sub junior girls snooker quarters. Gogesh beats Predke, joins Hari Krishna in the late. Anti-cheating measures inevitable, says Aronian. Satish's career has seen an upswing in 2023 thanks to four title-winning runs. The 20-year-old settler, whose game is a mix of solid defense and strong attacks, had his latest conquest at the Odisha Masters on Sunday. He credits much of his success to the guidance from his coach and former international Ajit Vegetalek. Outstanding Warner can play test cricket for another year, feels and Healy. Customized mRNA is the next frontier in personalized medicine. Because it is so easy to change the mRNA recipe, cancer vaccines can be part of a personalized medicine plan where doctors sample a patient's tumor, sequence key genes, and adjust the mRNA treatment to include a site specific to that patient's cancer. Afghanistan left out of COP28 hopes for inclusion in COP29. 25 years ago, scientists found the universe expansion is accelerating. Text and context. So this is the last page, guys. Last two pages. Worth of assets seized by IT department in 4 years, 5,095 crore. What? Fraudulent loan apps removed from our Play Store by Google. Number of Indian fishermen arrested by Sri Lanka Navy. Decrease in India's sugar output from October to December 15. Hectares of cropland damaged due to rains in Maharashtra. What does the COP28 means for cities? How are cities important with respect to tackling climate change? How was this year's conference of parties different when it came to talking about the role of urban cities in climate action? Why do cities in the global south require more support? Why has a survey been approved at the Shahi Idgah? What is the Shahi Idgah Krishna Janmabhoomi dispute? What has the Allahabad High Court said? Understanding value investing, how it works and brings in profits. Value investing is based on the premise of the price of an asset and vary widely from its intrinsic value, which is the discounted value of the likely future cash flow from the asset. Benjamin Graham is considered to be the father of this style of investing. In December 1929, the Indian National Congress passed a resolution for Purna Swaraj, complete independence. Equijan freedom fighters associated with the demand. This is the last page, guys. Please continue reading for 2 hours to make you better in English communication. And don't forget to note the important, like difficult words and finding out the meaning for those words. So if you like the video, please share it to your friends and don't forget to like and comment. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you guys have any comments or doubts, you guys can leave the comment in the comment box so that I can resolve your doubts. And see you in the upcoming videos, guys. Have a great day. Bye bye. Take care.